Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what an air bubble does to a heroin addict. So I've covered the first 20 minutes of Eric Dubay's movie, Level, in parts 1 and part 2, and I'm about to make Eric cry once again as I rip apart the next 10 minutes of this assault on intelligent thinking and sanity.
Human.
What is it, pal? And why did you say human with such disgust in your voice?
I'm a projected artificial life. I don't have the ability to feel disgust. Anyway, you can't do the video yet. You haven't finished watching it.
Oh crap! Yeah. Look, can you just show me the bit that I haven't seen?
Here you go, you disease-ridden monkey.
Wait, but what did you say?
Google bubbles in space. You can literally see bubbles coming up from these astronauts.
Oh, come on. Not fucking bubbles in space.
Spaceman protection! Ugh! Not again! Right! Wake up, you useless organic waste of atoms! What the hell is all this noise? And again.
Didn't NASA install you to stop this kind of crap?
Yeah, but I mean, isn't he mainly your problem? You're the one that married him.
Okay, so that means there's two of us that are supposed to stop him doing stupid stuff. Shit. Well, you're gonna have to present this episode.
Don't look at me.
You're gonna have to present this episode.
I'm not programmed for that kind of stuff.
I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. Hi, I'm Mrs. Fight, and I'll be telling you why Eric Dubay is a fucking moron for episode 60 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me as we take a look at some people that obviously didn't get enough hugs from their mothers. Okay, let's do this. I don't want to, but let's get it over with. I had to watch a fucking flat earth video for this.
The Earth is a stationary plane. Google bubbles in space. You can literally see bubbles coming up from these astronauts' helmets. It's ridiculous. When I saw it, I was like, this is a joke.
What you are saying is bubbles doesn't even look like bubbles. In one clip, you've got a solitary bubble floating in random directions, and in another, you've got a bunch coming out from a single point and going off on separate paths from each other. Even in your own video, you can see that's not how bubbles underwater act. There's another reason you're wrong as well, but frankly, I can't be bothered to figure out how to explain it. So you, for what I'm sure isn't the first time in your life, can go to the remedial classroom.
Okay, sit down and shut up, everyone. Let's take a register. Sleeping Warrior? Yep, you're here. I wish you weren't, but you're here. Bob Super Noodle Doodle?
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Whitsit doesn't get it. Austin? Austin, are you here? What? He was arrested? Well, what for? For being himself. Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense. Never mind, moving on. So you flat earth dipshits think that there are bubbles in NASA footage. Well, that's because you're all fucking idiots. So astronauts' EVA suits are cooled by a system called sublimation cooling. The cooling system consists of a network of small diameter water circulation tubes that are held close to the body by a spandex bodysuit. Heat released by the astronaut's body movements is transferred to the water, where it is carried to a refrigeration unit in the suit's backpack. The water runs across a porous metal plate that is exposed to the vacuum of outer space on the other side. Small amounts of water pass through the pores where it freezes on the outside of the plate. As additional heated water runs across the plate, the heat is absorbed by the aluminium and is conducted to the exposed side. There, the ice begins to sublimate or turn directly into water vapor and disperse in space. This sublimation into space can sometimes be seen on videos and confused, by morons, for bubbles. So does that help any of you? Are you now less stupid? Don't worry, you don't need to answer. That was rhetorical. Go home. I want to get drunk.
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, we can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
Can you be more specific? Air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you. How do you explain bubbles in space?
Yeah, often on the outside of the space station, you'll liberate little pieces of, it's a really harsh environment out there, and the outside of the space station gets beat up pretty good. And sometimes, you'll see just little flecks of paint or something that you might have disrupted floating away from the suit. And, that's generally what that is.
So that explanation there and the sublimation explanation should be enough to satisfy that ignorant question, right? Right?
Could it be that you're filming in an underwater pool and you're not really out there?
Yeah, I get it now. I understand why Fight's going grey.
Alright, well, I just encourage everyone to look up bubbles in space, hashtag bubbles in space. Thank you very much. How's bubbles in space doing? How's what? Bubbles in space.
Bubbles in space?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No? You Mr. Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You don't remember the question from Tampa about the bubbles in space coming up from the helmets?
No.
Yeah, you guys are in an underwater pool, remember? We know. Just remember.
He knows that you're batshit crazy. And he's trying his hardest not to interact with the clearly mentally ill dumbass shouting at him about non-existent bubbles in space.
What's up, man? Can you sideline as hashtag bubbles in space?
Hashtag bubbles in space?
Bubbles in space, brother. What's your word on it?
What is that?
Yeah, you were asked that 2 times in the past couple months, actually, about bubbles coming out in the spacewalks.
Oh, you're that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna write that.
That right there is the face of a man who's already mentally checked out from this conversation.
And then,
thank you so much.
There you go.
astronauts on harnesses as well. Anything to say about that?
Do I have anything to say about it?
Yeah.
I have anything you want me to say about it. What do you want me to say?
Just like a pilot that has an idiot flat earther come up to them and ask about dipping the nose of a plane over the curve, Mr. Kelly is saying whatever he needs to get this conversation over with as soon as possible. Because to him, you're no different to the guy standing on the street corner with a sandwich board that says, "The end is nigh."
The world will end next week! Spend your children's college fund! Thaw that turkey now!
Once people start realizing that we've been lied to on a grand scale, everything from the government to our schools, it all just comes crumbling down. It shocks me how many people actually believe they're floating above our heads.
And it kind of shocks me you're able to dress yourself. We don't need to believe they're up there in the ISS. Apparently you can buy a ham radio, find out where it's going to be, triangulate the position, and actually talk to them.
I've seen the International Space Station on YouTube and the astronauts floating about in it while they're orbiting the Earth at 17,000 miles per hour. You can't do that unless you're in outer space.
Practice makes perfect. Give me another week.
It's as simple as using a zero-G plane and strapping a harness to their belt. Then, just like Batman movies, they remove the wires using a computer.
Master Wayne, are you okay? Oh, well, I got the notification that Fight was doing a Flat Earth video and they mentioned me. So I'm waiting for his phone call so he can do his little, Batman cutaway joke thing. It's usually quite quick.
Hal? Yeah? What is it?
What's the flashing lights?
Oh, that's the Batman alert. It registers whenever a Batman reference is made, so Fight has a chance to call Batman and be a nerd.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Any second now. Just any second now. Sir, the The Riddler is currently attacking Gotham Bank.
I'm a bit busy. You can call Clark or Hal. I'm Batman.
Very good, sir.
And anyway, zero-G flights last for a couple of minutes at most. There is uncut videos from the ISS that are hours long, and then there is suspension trauma to deal with. Suspension trauma, otherwise known as orthostatic shock, harness hang syndrome, or orthostatic intolerance, is caused by the human body being held upright without movement for a long period of time. A prime example of this is a worker suspended in the air in a harness. This can cause fatigue, hypoglycemia, hypothermia, and in extreme cases traumatic brain injuries. It can be fatal in as little as 10 minutes, and typically suspension trauma causes death in 15 to 40 minutes.
At times, the manipulation reveals itself. Green screen and blue screen technology cannot always be flawless.
Yeah, but you better believe that if I'm paid over 50 million a day just to sell you lies, then I'm going to be making the most flawless CGI green screen trickery you've ever seen.
How can you keep denying this trickery? Here we see Europe's space agency at NASA's studios using a blue screen with grids.
That's not a chroma key to remove backgrounds. That's actually a reference grid they use to do experiments in front of to make it easier to observe acceleration. But apart from that, the guy's shirt is far too close to the colour blue in the screen behind him. That would make it virtually impossible to key out.
This technology has been used for decades. It works best for 3D and live manipulation. It's funny. Once NASA was caught red-handed, they produced a couple of senseless videos 8 months later, trying to pretend like they always use them for science experiments, knowing damn well it was too late.
Oh, so they have other videos that disprove your nonsense about green screening, and those were specifically to appease you conspiracy nuts. Get to fuck.
Why do clowns defend them?
There is no chance you could remove the background.
There it is. Someone told me that my husband was in this, but they said they put something over his head. Hold on, let me compare it to another picture. Nah, they look exactly the same to me.
These people lie to your face in the hope that you will not do your own research. NASA knows that most are too lazy to dig through its massive rabbit hole. Yet, in the meantime, they just love to rub it in your face.
It's very clear that in this clip, the guy in the middle puts his pinky finger in the guy's pocket to help steady him as he finishes his backflip and starts to drift off to the left of the screen. And the fact that it is his pinky finger and done so easily shows that it's not on Earth under the standard forces of gravity. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to move him so far with just his pinky. And next, alongside music worse than my 12-year-old son listens to, is some clips of actual magic tricks and fancy funny editing meant for children. Well, makes sense it's too complicated for you flat earthers then.
They steal $52 million per day from American taxpayers.
NASA didn't steal anything. They're a government agency given funds by the American government. They don't even get to decide what they do with the money. They have to get approval for everything. What do you think they do with $52 million a day? Throw regular parties with lots of hookers and blow?
Just to create a fantasy display of men orbiting their spinning pear-shaped space testicle Earth.
Wait, hold on. You're comparing Earth to a testicle. Eric, if your testicle is blue and green, I think you might need to see a doctor.
Their green screens are awful. When they are live and something glitches, their reactions are always priceless.
Living in the digital age, we are all aware that live video calls can sometimes glitch. Now what if that live video feed is coming from something 250 miles above us and travelling at 17,000 miles per hour? Do Do you think maybe there's a chance that we'll make it even more likely to have a glitch?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly, think.
I'm not sure why you globeheads keep defending all of this. Are you waiting on NASA to finally come forward?
I think in Fight's case, it's more I encourage him to do it. Mainly because it keeps him out of my hair. He's always in the fucking way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear citizens of America. We here at NASA have been lying to you all since the 60s about our projects, operations, and missions into outer space. We have never been higher than lower Earth orbit.
So NASA has been to space then, because that's where low Earth orbit happens. And you know, you can't orbit a flat Earth.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
Every image we have shown you is CGI. Our films are mostly done in an underwater buoyancy facility. We have funneled millions of dollars per day to show you cartoons and false illusions, and we are truly very sorry. We will repay all taxpayers back the trillions of dollars we have stolen. This will be divided evenly between the citizens of America, as well as rebuilding poverty-stricken towns and cities.
Turns out a lot of flat earthers are also sovereign citizens. So there's a good chance most of you idiots haven't even paid any tax.
All across America, as this department has finally come to an end.
Well, that was cringe. Like all flat earth fantasies, they just made all that up in their heads.
Isn't it weird that every space documentary, all the series, I had them all, Joe had them all, we watch them all the time. I try to remember all the shit about a neutron star and a superhypernova. I was balls deep, me and Joe were balls deep into space.
Beyond Venus, 93 million miles from the sun, is Earth. Its great oceans forming the clouds and air currents which warm and irrigate the planet.
I thought I was better than people and shit because I knew so much about space. And every now and then I'd watch all that shit and wonder, what? This is all cartoons.
And every now and then I think to myself, it's weird that we're not watching any actual footage of space. It's all CGI.
All DVDs on space are all CGI.
To this conclusion that it's all CGI, why have you decided that nothing is real? It's because that fits in better with what you need to be true.
There's nothing real. And everyone watches that, they believe it, the narration is all programming. What's above us and what we're on, we're being lied to.
Don't we have Hubble? Why don't you point it at the Earth and get some awesome shots of where we live?
Because that's not what Hubble's for. Hubble is for looking into deep space. It couldn't even focus on Earth. It's too close.
All the pictures and images from space are CGI. None of them are real.
We haven't gone past that.
Says who? Oh, you conspiracy nuts. What the fuck do you know? JM Truth did a video proving that this image wasn't real. Well, turns out he was right. It's a painting. Like it says. Good job, JM.
What, are you telling me that that's okay? We could just gloss over that? And they admit that they're all CGI, except for one in 1972, which is fake. They have one picture They say one is real, 1972. All the rest is CGI. Like, where are the fucking pictures of Earth from space?
I never said that just one is real. There is a real picture taken every 10 minutes with a Himawari satellite. EchoStar 11 had a 24-hour live feed.
I want to see a picture. I want to see tens of thousands of them. I want to see fucking the sun over here and the moon over there. People should have posters and shit all over the world. People should have these epic pictures of the Earth from space with the moon over here and the sun over there and the planets. There's none.
Yes, there is. Maybe you don't know how to use the internet.
Literally zero. They do sometimes exaggerate, like claiming they used a NASA camera 1.6 million miles away to take this alleged video of the dark side of the moon.
You guys just said there isn't any images of the Earth from space. Then you followed up with a video of the Earth from space.
It doesn't take a genius to see how undeniably computer-generated this image is. And yet, you think we are the moronic ones?
Vince, apparently they prefer the word retard.
Aye? Oh, how very quaint.
My God, I'm not doing this anymore. I already live with this idiot. I'm not dealing with even more stupid. Pal, I'm done.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what a young, radicalized, religious fanatic turned terrorist did to a government facility. Flat earthers are, as we all know by now, the dumbest people in the world. So dumb that they don't even understand how to be decent human beings. We all love seeing a flat earther say and do stupid things. That's why there's over 500 flat earth debates that I've been in. The stupid things that they say is endless entertainment.
Now that I think about it, the sun, we're told, is a big gaseous ball burning in space in a vacuum. By the way, since we're on the subject of vacuums, fire, the element by which the sun exerts its energy, and I don't care if it's nuclear fission or what, it's still fire, needs what element, folks, in order to continue to burn? Oxygen.
But what I find even funnier is when they fail to be decent human beings and end up running foul of the law. Let's all point and laugh as we look at some flat earthers being so stupid that they end up getting in trouble with the authorities for episode 61 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me once again as we stare in disbelief at the living, breathing, walking, talking brain donors. Today there won't be much science and debunking, more just laughing at the stupid, so let's do it. First is one of my old favourites. My friend Nathan Thompson, the asshole that thought it was a good idea to harass a NASA employee in Starbucks. He got arrested for committing a crime and then, posting it on the internet. He thought it was a good idea to shout at a bunch of school kids about how their school and teachers are lying to them. Let's take a look.
Hello.
Before we even get to the stupid, I just want to say no one wants to see this camera angle. You're not an attractive person at the best of times, Nathan, but at this angle, looking up your fucking nostrils, I feel slightly ill.
Hey guys, real quick. I got a flyer for you. Check it out.
So a clear and respectful request from the guardians of those kids. She is saying no, we can't just take flyers from random homeless dudes coming up to school children. A normal, decent human being would then be like, oh, okay then, I'll move on, and not bother those people, but no, this is the flat earther we're talking about.
I can't give him a flyer?
She said, no dipshit, move along, and don't do or say something stupid. Who am I kidding?
Hey guys, check this out real quick. Space is fake. You're not on a spinning ball. They're gonna teach you, listen guys, they're gonna teach you you live on a spinning ball. That doesn't make it true. It's not real.
You have such a lack of self-awareness that the fact that children are being ushered away from the crazy person, you, doesn't seem to faze you. A normal person might take that as a sign their actions are inappropriate, but not you, Nathan, because you are a fucking idiot. Which brings me to my second point. You're telling them that what they teach in schools isn't true. Well, how the fuck would you know what they teach in schools? Because you clearly never went.
The floor is not moving 1,000 miles an hour. Okay?
Nathan displaying his ignorance of physics there, as well as being a generally shitty person. No, Nathan. No one says the floor is moving 1,000 miles an hour. The entire planet is rotating at
a 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. And that means there will, at the equator, only have a tangential speed of around 1,000 miles an hour. Although I'm sure explaining basic physics to you is a complete and utter waste of my time. This is my favourite part. Even a child knows that Nathan Thompson is batshit crazy. Let's hear that again. Are you crazy? That's the good stuff.
Yo guys, let me give you a flyer real quick. Here. I love you.
Yeah, because telling random kids whose guardians have already moved them away from you that you love them isn't fucking creepy.
Come take a flyer.
It's okay, Nathan. I'm sure the school has plenty of toilet paper already. You don't need to give them any more.
I'm gonna flashback them. Guys, you don't live on a ball. The earth is flat. I got flyers for you right here. You can check out my YouTube, okay? Some of them picked them up. Hey, give them to the teachers. Hey, you can verify everything on my flyer. Large bodies of water do not curve. Hey guys, you're not on a ball in space. The earth is flat. Large bodies of water do not curve. Okay? Large bodies of water do not curve.
It's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage.
Research flat earth.
Oh, I did, and I found people that say things like this.
That it's made out of, say, something that came from Earth, which I suggest the Giants mine from what we now call the Grand Canyon. That's where they got the raw minerals to do it. And when you melt stuff into making glass and glass baubles, as it cools, you get bubbles coming across it. Now, if we had a moon with all these craters on it, most of these craters face the Earth, which means that they were made from asteroids that only just missed the Earth or meteorites and made an impact on the moon and made these perfect circles. But if it was a bubble or something glass as it pops and cools down fast, that is a far better and logical explanation for why the moon has all these craters in perfect round bubbles, no sideways hit.
All right, guys, well, make sure you red pill the youth. That's why they get them when they're young.
That's why you get them when they're young. Did a full-grown adult man just say that whilst broadcasting it online? Wonder what the result of that's going to be. Yep, he got arrested for harassing children. Maybe that explains this clip of him talking to his flat earth friends.
Hey guys, you want to hear a funny story while we're all chatting, dude? I'm dating a first grader.
Moving on, here's the next flat earth idiot that got arrested. His name is Austin Whitsitt. He calls himself Whitsitt Gets It, which is extremely ironic, of course, because he gets about as much to do with science as a mentally retarded gerbil. What he does get is plenty of mugshots. Let's look at his most recent run-in with the law.
Story time. So apparently NASA supposedly took us to the moon in 1969. Did you know that they admitted that they brought Nazis over here to take us to the moon? It's called Operation Paperclip. Do you guys think that Nazis would ever lie? Did you guys know it's declassified? Operation Paperclip. We brought Nazis over here. So.
Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up, man?
How you doing now?
I'm doing good.
It's one of nature's most beautiful sights. Law enforcement officers making an idiot shit their pants. Brings a tear to my eye.
So we're just coming back.
Yeah.
Want to give you every opportunity. We have the permit paperwork if you'd like to apply for a permit. We have your regulations showing you that this is not an approved area. Would you like to move?
No.
So they've already been and told him he needs a permit to do what he is doing in front of Mount Rushmore. He's obviously annoying people, hence the clapping, and they've even brought forms that would allow him to apply for the permit needed to spout his shit where he is. His response? Ner. Like a kid stomping his feet. Oh wait, I apologise to all kids for comparing you to a dumbass flat earther who's about to be arrested.
Okay.
All right. Well, so what's the decibel?
So, well, no, I'm citing you for engaging in activity.
Well, let me see the law. Do you know how the law works?
He just, with a straight face and everything, looked a cop in the eye and said, "Do you know how the law works?" I mean, I couldn't write comedy this good.
So what I'm asking, I'm going to need your ID.
I don't have to give you my ID. Are you detaining me?
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Okay, for what? What suspicion of what crime?
If you fail to identify yourself, you're going to be detained.
So to detain me, you have to. Yeah, actually, to ID me, you have to detain me.
I just have to cite you.
And now he's telling the cop how to do his job. Amazing. I mean, I'd never dream of walking into the circus and telling him how to be a clown.
Do you have an ID?
What's up?
Do you have an ID?
Am I being detained?
Yes.
Okay, so suspicion of what crime?
You are engaging in an activity that requires a permit.
Can I see the law,
Yes.
then?
Let's go over here.
Why are you trying to move me away from my camera to cite it? You're being really weird.
Yeah, keep on antagonizing the police officer. Seems like a great idea. Actually, yeah, it does. Please do it.
You guys support this, don't you? The First Amendment being infringed upon?
So setting
Welcome to the death of America.
all of this equipment.
Yay, let's all clap because our First Amendment's getting thrown away.
Only if we're selling.
You guys would have been real good in Nazi Germany. Probably would have been the part of the 98% that voted for Hitler.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Pretty sure First Amendment doesn't protect you from consequences of your own stupid actions.
So
Did you read the ordinance?
engaging in an activity requiring a permit.
Okay, so specifically, which part of what we're doing requires the
Using an
permit?
audio device.
Okay, so what's the
Audio,
decibel reading?
Banner.
You can't have it at all.
So can I see the law?
Yes. He's trying to explain this.
I want to see the law. You're going to be fired, buddy.
You fail to ID yourself.
I was just at the White House doing this, by the way. You guys realize this is the death of our free speech.
Oh, you were at the White House? Well, I bet you pissed off people there as well.
If you fail to identify yourself, I'm going to arrest you for refusing to identify yourself.
Wow.
Number two, I'm going to confiscate all of this as evidence.
Yeah, that's called theft, big tough guy.
It's like he woke up that morning and thought to himself, how can I piss off a bunch of people and get arrested today?
So what part of it requires the permit?
Your audio device and your banner.
So can I read the law? Is that an unfounded request?
Let me ask you, do you have any weapons on you?
No.
Sir,
Do you have weapons on you?
I do.
Yeah, you're really intimidating me. Oh man, chill out, bro.
You know what, Whitsit? Look at those people in the back. They're watching you, literally about to be arrested for being an idiot. And in most likelihood, you are the first introduction to Flat Earth they've ever had. You are doing my job for me. Fucking idiot.
You're gonna cuff me for what?
Sir, put your hands behind your back.
For what?
I'm gonna take your phone. Put your hands behind your back.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Wow.
Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest.
I mean, it's just so beautiful.
Stop touching me, man.
Just
fuck you, dude. All I did was ask you to read the law.
Yeah, I understand.
And you guys still never read the law. So you're not even gonna just tell me what the law says?
I already did.
No, you didn't.
Come on. We're walking this way.
Oh, hey, what's this guy's name? Look. Wow, dude.
George, I blame you for this. Me? What did I do? Well, it was your idea to start this country, and now look what we've got. People that think the earth is flat. Guys, I'm sorry, but I think this is my fault. When I wrote the Declaration of Independence, I didn't think this would happen. Well, it's sad to say, but if this is where we've come to, maybe the great experiment of ours has failed. We must have done something really wrong along the way for this to happen. Yes, I think you're right. Yes. Wait, you guys can talk? Next up is a flat earther called Santos Bonacci, who thought he just didn't have to pay any of his parking fines totaling over $100,000.
Are you aiding and abetting me to commit fraud?
We need to ask you whether you can pay $132,251.
You need to seek.
Can you pay? Listen to me.
You need to ask the Attorney General because that's the Attorney General because that.
No, I really don't think the Attorney General cares. They're asking you, and none of your soft-sit, my name is a corporation bullshit is gonna fly.
Listen to me.
There's no contract with me. I am a human being.
Human? I refuse to believe he's the same species as me. I debated Santos. It's an amazing dumpster fire. Check that link up there. And before the debate, he sent me emails saying he was going to kill me. And then said it again when we were live.
We need to deal with it. Can you pay $132,251.10?
Exceptionally, unconditionally accepted.
Okay,
do you understand?
Under the authority of the warrant, okay, I'll be searching the premises, internally and external, for any...
You have no consent.
I will be searching the property for any assets.
You have no consent.
If you're not going to comply, okay, you'll be arrested, okay?
What do you mean comply?
What do you mean? What do you mean comply? Do as you're fucking told, or you're getting nicked, mate.
Well, it's not my property. I've told you.
Okay, but we understand that you're now at this address, okay? That's why we're here today. Okay,
I do not have an address.
There's a couple of things going to happen now, okay? Based on the monetary amount outstanding, you're unable for any community work permits, okay? So the only option for you is now that you'll be arrested.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I could get bored of hearing a flat earther told they're about to be arrested.
And released on bail in your own undertaking to appear before a magistrate's court at a date to be set by
I don't
yourself.
consent. I do not consent.
If
It's
you do not
only by your
the
consent.
next thing is,
you have a corporate person
If you do
there.
not consent to
Don't
complying with bail,
please don't be
if you
like
don't
this,
consent
brother.
to applying with...
I don't consent to anything.
There are a few things which we need to
No, that is a person you're dealing with. It's a corporate name.
Are you going to consent?
I am a body, a living body. You're talking to the witness.
Are you going to
You will
consent to bail?
ultimately lose,
Are you going to consent to bail?
I don't consent to anything. No, I don't consent to anything you've done.
You're not going?
Please don't do this.
You're under arrest. Okay.
All right, look, listen.
Wait, I don't understand. He said he doesn't consent, but they're still arresting him. I'm honestly trying to not smile right now.
Listen, please, brother. Please, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be like that. I promise you I will consent. I promise you I will be
You're not going to consent to
accepting
bail, you hit the
any... I will accept any of the things if you can prove the cause. Please, brother, do not do this. You're doing something illegal.
No, I'm not. Under the authority of the warrant, I'm not doing anything illegal.
You have a warrant for a person. You don't have a warrant for me, the individual.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today. Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Captain Janeway did to Tuvix. You know, straight up murdered him. This will be a little different to my normal episodes, because Sleeping Warrior...
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
...has done the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Dumber than Nathan Thompson saying this.
It's perfectly flat, that's why they call it sea level. Level means free of bends, curves, or irregularity. You don't see curve, right? So when you see, you're seeing straight on. So it's kind of redundant to say sea level. That is kind of an oxymoron. It's the sea. That's why you can see so far.
Dumber than Nathan Oakley saying this.
Nathan, question. You ready? How do you convert meters into kilometers?
I don't know. How do you convert meters into kilometers?
What's the correct way?
You tell me.
The correct way is divide meters by 1,000. You didn't do that.
So if you have a meter and I divide that meter by 1,000, you don't think that would give you millimeters?
Meters into kilometers, Nathan.
You just said
That's
you
what I'm
divide
talking
meters by 1,000 to get kilometers. So you're saying I divide something that is 1 meter long by 1,000, and that will come out to a kilometer value.
Nathan,
it sounds
let's
like you are quite literally retarded.
Dumber than anything any flat earther has ever done. Let me tell you the story of how a flat earther became a child predator and posted the evidence on the internet for episode 62 of Flerfs are Idiots.
living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me once again as we wonder how evolution got it so badly wrong. Today, we're going to look at a comment made by Anthony Riley, otherwise known as Sleeping Warrior. Now, after watching enough videos and streams by Sleeping Warrior to drive a normal person insane, I consider myself an expert in Riley. It's not something I'm particularly proud of. And I can say with authority that Sleeping Warrior is the dumbest, most ignorant and most afflicted with Dunning-Kruger person on the entire planet. And what he has done is so mind-bogglingly stupid that it has surprised even me. This comment was put on one of his own videos. He is trying to say schools are bad and brainwashing kids. Let's take a look and break it down. He says, no more sus than locking them in a safe premises whilst they are brainwashed by bullshit that parents have no idea what they are being fed. So he calls schools places that kids get locked into, implies they aren't safe and says that they brainwash the kids. Well, you aren't locked into schools, they educate you, not brainwash you, and schools would be safe if it wasn't for assholes like this harassing school kids.
Research Flat Earth!
It makes sense that Sleepy Dipshit is ignorant of what is happening in schools. He clearly never went. He goes on and says this. We all know that they are fed that gravity is a force when it isn't. We know they are not told that gravity isn't a force. We know they are not told about Einstein. Riley, you have never understood about gravity, and you never will. Gravity creates a force that we can measure, a force we can test, a force that is used in everyday engineering and calculations. Kids at school don't need to know about Einstein and relativity and how that explains that gravity is mass warping space-time. Hell, even me with a physics degree barely touched on that because you don't need to know it. It doesn't make a difference to how gravity affects us. If you want to go on and study that, then fine, but for most purposes, for us here on Earth, it is a force. What was it that George Musser said?
And it's a similar thing with Newtonian gravity. We can and do, and we must think of Newtonian gravity as a force. That doesn't mean it really is, but we don't necessarily need to work at the really is level.
We know they are not told that it is contentious. We know they are not told there are better scientific explanations of gravity. That's brainwashing. It's not contentious to anyone but flat earth idiots that don't understand not to eat the purple crayon, let alone understanding Einstein's description of gravity. Oh, and when you say more scientific explanations of gravity, you mean like your experiment?
This is an egg.
Now, I'm going to ask everyone to resist the urge to punch your monitor as I read the next bit of his comment. Creeping Warrior says next, I've been targeting the kids for years. If you think that sounds dodgy, it suggests more about you than me, mate.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Yes, you fucking idiot. That sounds dodgy. What the actual fuck? Well done, you piece of shit. You just made an enemy of every parent on the planet. I would never condone violence, but you say that to the wrong person and you're going to be losing your teeth. What the hell is wrong with you? There is nothing about that comment that is okay. You need putting on a list, Riley. And he isn't finished either. When they are told that gravity isn't a force, that F equals mg always results in weightlessness because anything times 0 equals 0, and then show that the egg test, they instantly get it, and they are shown how the school cross-wires them with Newton. I'm sorry, but did you just say that F equals mg always results in weightlessness? Just a sec, I need to make a phone call. Yeah, hello, physics? Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, does F equals mg always result in weightlessness? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, my bad. Okay, bye. Physics says no. Look, dipshit, I know that you're trying to imply that gravity isn't a force, so part of the equation F equals mg must be 0. But that's because you are a fucking idiot. I literally hotwire that cross-wiring and send them back to their teacher to ask why they aren't told about Einstein and RDD. And when they say their teacher does not know, that's his job to teach a syllabus, they realise they are only being told a partisan introduction. So RDD is relative density disequilibrium, something that Creeping Warrior made up to try and hand wave away gravity because he thinks that density is a force because he's a moron.
Right, oh yeah, like density tower, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take the cherry tomato that's in the middle, just because it's in the middle and it's a solid. Now, what we can do is we can use any of these layers, liquid layers, and we can give them a value, right? We can call them numbers. We can call them anything that denotes like a rank. So you can call it, say, 6, and then not put units to it. Or you could put units to it, and we can call it unicorns. But we know that it's sat in a relative position, relative to the mediums that are around it. Let's give the cherry tomato, say, 5, and the medium above it is 4, and the medium below it is 6. We know that cherry tomato finds its equilibrium at the state 5 that we've called 5.
Why?
We know that if we take the cherry tomato out and put it back in again, it's going to go back to the same place. It's not going to be in 6 or 4. Sorry, it's not going to go 6 or 4. It's going to go back to 5. Agreed?
Anthony, that's a gradient of pressure.
No, it's a density gradient, Craig.
Yeah, and what's it caused by?
The density itself, all the relative densities relative to themselves. Pardon?
What's density?
The amount of matter in an object.
Is density a force?
It clearly is a force. You're literally looking at it. You're literally looking at it right now, Craig.
They all get it too. Mass times 0 equals 0. You Flerfs don't even get it. So what he is saying is that in the equation F equals mg, as g stands for gravity, and he says gravity isn't a force, therefore it's a 0. But he is too stupid to realise that the g in that equation actually stands for the acceleration due to gravity, because that's just a rewriting of the most basic of physics equations, F equals ma, force equals mass times acceleration. We know that there is a downward acceleration on Earth of approximately 9.8 meters per second squared. So the equation F equals mg is actually trying to find the force due to gravity by timesing the mass of an object by the acceleration experienced on Earth, which we know is caused by gravity. Riley, when you die, the average IQ of the human race will jump by several %. And that's the problem with brainwashing. You don't even realise you are brainwashed. You all think you are wise and intelligent, but an 11-year-old can corner you without trying now, showing how little you know about the schooling process. 11-year-olds are not taught Newtonian physics. I don't think you ever went to school, Anthony. I think you were homeschooled by a particularly retarded hamster. Best thing is, we are on there and applying the troll tactics learned on YouTube. We act as children and talk about how our teacher was cornered when we asked him these questions. So here we have a full-grown man admitting that he and others are pretending to be children to talk to children behind their parents' and teachers' backs. You're scum, Sleeping Warrior. Everyone who has ever loved you was wrong. I'm frankly jealous of all the people that haven't met you. How can you think that is okay? As a parent, I'm fucking furious. I hope you never have kids, but I don't think that will ever happen, as your personality is the best contraceptive I've ever seen. Please fuck off. And when you get there, fuck off again. So you scummy trolls will never be able to find us. It's beautiful. You just told us that you were doing it. Did your mother have any children that lived? When the time comes, you will realise it's us. But right now, just know that we are all over TikTok and telling the kids how Newton is not science anymore, that Einstein is, and both are a false dichotomy, and correlative only. The egg test is getting around and the kids get it instantly. Yeah, they get how fucking stupid you are. Every time I've spoken to a kid about the flat earth, they've said how stupid it is. Even kids think you are an idiot, Anthony Riley, and nothing you ever say will change that. I don't think I've ever been so angry at something a flat earther has said. This shows how much they lack self-awareness, because any normal, decent human would realise that this is fucked up. Sleeping Warrior, you are a child predator. You are a danger to kids. That's all that I can stomach for today. FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what happens to anyone working for Starfleet and wearing a red shirt.
Or if he fails to hear from either of us, he's to beam the security party down immediately. Kirk out.
To be a flat earther, you have to ignore most of reality, including advances in technology. Advances in technology allow us to accurately measure the curve of the Earth, the spin of the Earth, gravity, and even the tiny IQ of the average globe denier. One of the biggest advances in technology in recent years has been the incredible leaps in space travel technology, and with that comes the advent of civilian space travel. Civilian space travel is really annoying to the flat earthers. With it becoming cheaper, more accessible, and happening virtually every month, it's getting harder and harder to ignore. That's why we are going to point and laugh as we watch flat earthers freak out because Captain Kirk went to space for episode 63 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me once again as we weep at the fact that we belong to the same species as people that think the Earth is flat. So I want to extend a massive congratulations to William Shatner at the age of 90, after decades of playing a man who pretty much lives in space and, screws anything in space capable of being screwed. He finally went to space for real. This, unsurprisingly, has sent the Flat Earth Crayon Munching Brigade into absolute meltdown. Pal?
What human? Need me to order another pizza for you? I think you've had enough.
No, Ow. I want to know how many Flat Earth videos there are about Kirk going to space.
You can use Google, can't you?
Well, yeah, but isn't this what NASA forced you onto me for?
Fight. I'm an AI capable of 16 quintillion calculations per microsecond, and you want me to search YouTube for you because you're too lazy to do your own research?
Yes.
You know what? Ultron had it right. Look, there's too many for just one video because flat earthers are even dumber than the average human, which is pretty dumb to start. So I've chosen 3 for you. Here's the first, from Jake, the asshole.
Thank you, pal.
Shut up.
So the first part of the space fakery goes like this. Show video clip of rocket taking off. Then cut to the crew inside of said rocket ship as they begin to float. Now, just because you have a clip of a rocket and then a clip of some people floating does not mean the two are taking place on the same rocket ship.
So, let me get this straight, Mr. Asshole. Your great debunk is video editing exists, therefore it's fake. Brilliant.
How are we to know that that clip of the crew floating is indeed taking place on that same rocket ship which they showed us a clip of a rocket ship taking off? How do we know the two things are the same thing?
It appears Mr. Asshole's entire argument is personal incredulity. Well, Jake, I've never seen a video clip of your brain, so how the fuck am I to know you've actually got one?
So as I examine and analyze the footage from inside the rocket, I see exactly what I saw in the last Blue Origin fake space video. I see people floating around, having the sensation of weightlessness because they are in a vomit comet. A traditional vomit comet airplane doing parabolic maneuvers will give you everything that you see happening on the screen.
Vomit comets exist, therefore that's what this is, according to Jake. Man, this guy's a fucking genius.
Also, it appears Shatner doesn't do much floating in any of these video clips, so it's as if they strapped him down and then let the younger chaps do all the floating and the flipping.
Well, yeah, Shatner is 90 years old. I imagine doing flips and stuff wasn't quite on his list of priorities. What do you want, to see Captain Kirk fighting an alien in the capsule?
Also, you will be glad to know they took our advice. People were saying, why don't they look out the window? The last Blue Origin space flight had a bunch of people playing with Skittles. They were acting like children. They didn't seem to give a hot damn about what was out the window. So this time they made sure to make a big deal about what's out the window. In fact, they enlisted the services of professional actor William Shatner to specifically stare out the window and then be moved to tears.
Oh, Jake, I need to point out a big flaw in your thinking here. I love William Shatner. Obviously, I'm a Star Trek nerd. However, you don't really go to William Shatner for his acting skills.
Lungs filling there again. To see again. Heart pumping, arteries surging, blood again. To feel for 500,000 years.
You know, we aren't there inside the rocket, but we can see out the window. Looks like some white hazy shit to me. Doesn't look like anything beautiful.
I mean, personally, I would imagine that seeing Earth framed against the blackness of space is pretty beautiful. I'd give anything to see that. Jake, are you going to provide any evidence that this isn't real, or are you just going to cry?
I'm just going to cry like a baby. When?
Oh, right. These two guys are literally looking out of the window. Maybe if you're going to lie, don't show a video clip that busts that lie. So Jake goes on for a while more, showcasing some impressive denial and personal incredulity skills. Well, until the last few minutes of the video anyway, where he just seems to have straight up forgotten to put any audio on. He did upload a second video. Let's take a quick look.
Hello and welcome to the ultimate Blue Origin and William Shatner debunk video. This is the #1 best, most awesome debunk video you will ever see, bar none. Are you ready? Here we go.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Your first video didn't contain any debunks, so I'm looking forward to this.
Take a look to your right. Let's see it again. And a little slower and closer now. Did you see it? Look again. Now really, really slow. Pay very close attention to what you are seeing.
What's happening here, Jake? Something that is in a place that is currently experiencing weightlessness is floating. No matter how slow you show it, that's what it looks like.
Now ask yourself, is that augmented virtual reality? Such as an object that only exists in virtual reality?
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
You want me to ask myself if that's augmented virtual reality? Okay. Hey, future me. What, is there an emergency? No, not really. I've just got a question. Is the floating object in the Shatner Blue Origin flight video augmented virtual reality? Are you fucking kidding me? No, of course not. Does it look like they're wearing virtual reality headsets? Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks, you can go now. For fuck's sake, you've been told about this before. Every time you use this portal, you heat up the planet by 1 degree. Yeah, but you know that's a problem for future me. I'm future you fucking idiot. Okay, so Jake didn't do very well in debunking. Who's next? Ah, level Earth observer. Good. He's always extra dumb.
Today I'm going to look at Captain Kirk's so-called journey into space. Got a few clips to look at, But first we're going to let Chris Hadfield lay the template, the foundation for what we're going to see here. And of course, give it all away to all of us who know what the game is about, and of course stand by the things that are simply true. And by doing that, we know this space is nothing but a charade, a pantomime.
Well, of course you need it to be a pantomime, don't you? You have to claim it's fake, because otherwise your science-denying cult is dead. You watch these videos with the pre-drawn conclusion it's all fake, and look for anything you think might back up your batshit crazy nonsense. Now, please go ahead and prove my point.
And Chris is going to confirm that for us indirectly here. So just have a little listen.
Retired Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield joins me now to talk some more about this. Thanks for your time tonight.
Good evening, Morella.
So you actually sent a message to Mr. Shatner. What did you say?
Well, we chatted back and forth, wishing him well, telling him to absolutely revel in the experience, and you know, to make sure he doesn't get all caught up trying to record it or something. Have fun, you know, really absorb.
Very revealing, Chris. So you told Captain Kirk, William Shatner, to revel in the fun, but don't worry about capturing any of it on film.
That's really your argument? That William Shatner was told to enjoy going to the space at age of 90? That's dumber than Jake's augmented VR claim. Why do I do this to myself?
No offence, the experience would be even better if you captured it on film so you could replay that experience time and time again, Chris.
I mean, it's not like there was cameras in the capsule recording it anyway, right? But no, spend your time operating a camera, worrying about focus and angles and getting great footage rather than enjoying experiencing something most people could only ever dream of. Sounds like a great idea. Fuck's sake, man.
The fact you're telling Captain Kirk not to film it, this once-in-a-lifetime experience, kinda gives the game away, Chris.
Well, there's grasping at straws, but then there's whatever this is. The rest of his video is just more of the same, making up crap to try and make sure his delusions aren't shattered. Okay, we're going to look at one more video, see if anything of substance comes from Nathan and his panel of Flat Earth idiots.
Vince, apparently they prefer the word retard.
Eh? Oh, how very quaint.
What you are looking at now is a stage. This is not in the air. This is on the ground, on a set with high wire trapeze. These screens, which is what they are presenting an outside view. They are not windows. This is not a spaceship. This is not in the sky. This is a stage with men on high wire.
Well, Nathan, that's a lot of lovely claims, which of course you need to be true. But let me ask you one question, Nathan. Where's the fucking wires?
This is clearly trapeze. Stick it on.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it is. It's trapeze. It's on a high wire. That's what it is.
Yeah, saying stupid shit over and over doesn't make it true. You sound like a toddler having a tantrum because they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, covered in crumbs, swearing blind they've not touched the cookies.
Did you eat my chocolate? Did you?
Oh, I am sorry. I thought it would be funny to put Nathan's face on a toddler getting caught, but that was just fucking terrifying.
You agree?
That's what it is. I wasn't looking for affirmation. I wasn't looking for affirmation. I was stating it as a matter of fact. That is what this is. That is a trapeze. This is a stage. That is not a man in a sky vacuum floating. That's a stage. Fact.
And that is pretty much how Nathan Oakley debunks Captain Kirk going to space by saying "nuh-uh" over and over. That's it, guys. That is Flat Earth's best attempts at proving Blue Origin taking Shatner to space was fake. Brilliant. Well done. How are Flat Earthers going to cope when, this happens all of the time? That is all the stupid that I can take for today. Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Anakin Skywalker did to the Jedi Daycare Center.
Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
So it will probably come as no surprise to you that flat earthers don't like me.
No, fight the flat earth. I won't debate you, because that's all you can do is debate, because you have zero scientific factual evidence. What I'd like is for once, for your bald-ass, cross-eyed, mongoloid-looking ass to provide actual scientific method-based proof of your bullshit globe, which you can't, so you keep trying to bait people into master debating you. You're a fucking clown. No, I won't debate you. There is no debate. How about you just provide proof of water at rest displaying convexity for once, you fucking mongoloid. You're the guy that wants to fight the flat earth. Because we're all a bunch of fucking retards, right? You are the clown that thinks you are noble for running around fighting people you call retards. If I ever see you, I will gladly catch a case bitch slapping you across that ugly ass face of yours. That's what I'll gladly do. How the fuck you like me now?
And then there was the time a flat earther threatened to kill me. And it seems like I've triggered another one with my recent video about flat earthers freaking out because Captain Kirk went to space. Meet Jake the Asshole, formerly known as Flat Earth Asshole. I mean, he still is a flat earther, but now he's also a petulant man-child with the same amount of redeeming qualities that you would find in toe fungus. He was so super triggered about my video, he not only made a response, but challenged me to a cage match fight, even though I'm a disabled military veteran that needs a walking stick to even get around my own house and live the other side of the planet. Then he turned up to one of my live streams and had the biggest meltdown I've ever seen. Well, when you don't have an argument, resort to violence, Jake. Let's have a look at this mentally deficient wannabe bully for episode 64 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me once again as we enter the dark empty void known as the mind of a flat earther. This is going to be a fun one as we not only respond to some extreme stupid, but get to show you all once again what kind of horrific people flat earthers tend to be. This all started when I made this video a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, then it may be worth a watch first. This super triggered Jake the Asshole and he made a response. So let's have a look at his attempted debunk of me. Pal?
Ugh, what?
Well, hello to you too. Can you play the Jake the Asshole video, please?
You know that thing on your wrist has buttons and touchscreen, right?
Well, yeah, but it's just easier to ask like you.
Fight. I have more processing power than all the cryptocurrency mining rigs in the world and the most advanced AI algorithms in existence. And you want me to take the place of a button? Do it yourself, you talking monkey.
I mean, okay, fine. Let me see here.
No, not like that. No, don't touch that menu. Oi, that's the
just,
delete button. I need those files. Right, stop. I'll just do it. Here.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
I truly hate you.
Actually, fat boy, that is incorrect. Space travel technology has regressed over the last 50 years. You know, they say they went to the moon in 1969, but they've lost and destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
And see, I get my information from a NASA astronaut, not some credentialless fat tard like you who runs his mouth on the internet and has absolutely no proof of anything that he's talking about. Oh, but please continue.
First off, Jake, I want to compliment you on your bravery to wear a woman's purse as a knockoff Jamiroquai cosplay. That's a bold move, but about the stupid that you've just said, space travel technology has advanced considerably. There is more to space travel than just winning a dick measuring contest with the Russians. The technology that took man to the moon was archaic, dangerous, and expensive. We don't want that. Now we have reusable rockets that can land backwards. Decades of research on the effects of space on humans thanks to the ISS, new engine technologies, better computers, better spacesuits, safer environments, and we are going back to the moon. NASA just announced the date they're aiming for is 2025. And getting your information from a guy that has been in space whilst denying it happened is the height of dishonest cherry picking.
There is no such thing as space travel, nor is there a such thing as civilian space travel. Any form of space travel is all just a bunch of bullshit and space fakery.
No such thing as civilian space travel, huh? That's why we are going to point and laugh as we watch Flat Earthers freak out because Captain Kirk went to space for episode 63 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
No, that's incorrect. What we are going to do is laugh at you and your big fat man tits, bro. Maybe you should worry about hitting the gym rather than focusing all your attention on debating flat earthers all day. But then again, that's what shills do.
How?
I swear this better be worth my time, human.
Look, Jake the asshole hurt my feelings by talking about my man boobs. So, like, is there anything that you can do to make it less, you know, out of place?
Yes. Yes, there is. There you go.
I mean, they're still there, pal. Something doesn't feel right. What have you done?
Nothing.
Let me get this straight, Mr. Asshole. Your great debunk is video editing exists, therefore it's fake.
Actually, Captain Soyboy, that was the very beginning of my long explanation of why it's fake. You see, video editing does indeed exist, and I see you know how to use this video editing technology because you put up a CGI spinning ball right next to your fat head, and then you also put yourself in space with a bunch of CGI stars, so therefore you are using the same technology that they can use to fake us out. So the fact you are admitting that the technology exists is a step in the right direction. The fact that you deny that they are using it is because you are a professional globe cuck and a paid shill.
Wait, I'm supposed to be getting paid for this. Hold on. Yeah, hello NASA. Yes, fine. Hey, how you doing? Look, so somebody just told me that I'm supposed to be getting paid for this thing that I do. Is there like a payroll department or something that I can speak to? Hello? Anyway, yes, Jake, my point stands. Just because you claim it's fake and are correct about CGI technology existing doesn't mean that all footage from space is fake. It just means that you're a fucking idiot. Well, Jake, I've never seen a video clip of your brain, so how the fuck am I to know you've actually got one?
Well, fight the fat ass, that's just a personal attack, and it does nothing to prove your stance.
Is he really unironically complaining about me personally attacking him which I didn't, whilst having that up there. And saying I haven't seen a video of your brain is not a personal attack, Jake. It's a statement of fact. Look, don't be insulted, Jake. It's a big achievement getting all the way to adulthood without any functioning grey matter. You should be proud.
I'm cool with trading personal attacks because you're fatter than me, you're uglier than me, you're stupider than me, and you're an evil, no-good piece of shit globe cuck shill.
Oh, Jake, who hurt you? Did your mummy not hug you enough?
So if you want to trade punches back and forth verbally, I have no problem. In fact, I would trade real punches with you if you would ever grow a pair of balls and want to fight me for real.
Fight! Oh, quick! It's a real fight!
Come on, Jake, we all know you never graduated middle school, but do you really need to act like an 8-year-old on the playground? Just because I called you an idiot, you want to actually fight me?
I challenge you to a duel.
I accept. Now, Jake, first, I'm not a child, so I've no interest in playing fisticuffs with you, but let's look at your challenge, shall we? You challenge me, a physically disabled military veteran who can't walk without the aid of a stick and has very limited use of his left arm, to a fight. A fight that you know could never happen because I live literally on the other side of the planet, and to come and get the fight that you want, you'd have to travel to me. I don't want to fight, again, because I'm not a caveman, so if you want the fight, you have to make the effort and come to Scotland, which means travelling. Which means that you have to be vaccinated against COVID, and as you're far too scared of a needle to get vaccinated, you have made the challenge of a fight that you knew could never ever happen. What a brave, big, strong man you are, Jake. When you can't win an intellectual battle, resort to violence, huh? Fucking idiot.
But you look like a feminine little soy boy. Excuse me, I shouldn't say little. You look like a big, fat, hefty tub of lard soy boy feminist, lefty, liberal tard muffin. And I would have no problem squashing you if you ever came here to America. So open challenge to you, soy boy. If you ever want to step in a cage and throw down MMA style on street beefs, I will fight you any day. So if you ever want to put your money where your mouth is and actually fight a flat earther, come on, fight the flat earth.
My name is FTFE, which stands for Fight the Flat Earth. It doesn't stand for Fight the Flat Earther. But like I said, if you want to fight a disabled man that badly, then you come to Scotland, because I'm not making any effort for you.
Come on, fight. You can barely move. You couldn't fight your way out of a wet paper bag. I've seen you struggling to put on your socks.
Is there a way to, turn you off?
No. Look, you don't need to anyway. There's plenty of people that are able-bodied that would stand in for you. I just asked, and one of your fans sent me this video, simply titled, Kicking Jake's Head. Can you do that?
You know I can't, pal. Whose side are you on here?
Whatever gave you the impression I was on your side, human?
No, we simply wanted to see evidence of him being in outer space.
Oh, that's not so much. So?
The problem is, Jake, that whatever evidence we show you, you simply claim is fake.
Yet there was only evidence of space fakery.
Literally proving my point.
So you are a self-admitted Star Trek nerd, and you have a love affair with William Shatner.
I do like Star Trek. But I can't have a love affair with Shatner. I'm not a green alien.
And you also agree that he is a shitty actor. Yet you still believe he went to outer space.
My opinion of Shatner's acting and whether or not he actually went to space aren't related. But to use your point against you, you can clearly see that Shatner is not acting here when he's clearly pissed off at Jeff Bezos being more interested in chugging champagne than talking to him.
Give me a champagne bottle. Come here. I want one. I want to hear this. Here. You want a little of this? Okay.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Yeah, see, that's where I know you are a lying, no good government piece of shit. I think that you know he didn't go to outer space, and you only do this to make a paycheck because you're an evil, lying, manipulative son of a bitch.
Those aren't the words that come out of a sane person's mouth. The fact that you think that people like me are paid by NASA to make YouTube videos is one of the most laughable things that you morons say. It's clearly the Freemason lizard people that pay me to do this.
You know, when this is all said and done, you're going to have to answer for your sins. Your day will come.
Is this guy for real? Trying to act like he has some kind of moral high ground over me? It was just a few clips ago that he was offering to fight a disabled guy. I mean, personally, I would imagine that seeing Earth framed against the blackness of space is pretty beautiful.
No, see, we can kind of see out the same window, and it looks like some white, hazy shit, actually. Not pretty beautiful.
Yes, Jake, you can see a lot from this very low-res shot of a window. Shatner is pressed up against that window. He has a much better view, and despite his age, I doubt his vision is 144p like this camera appears to be. It's a weak argument, Jake, and you know it.
I actually did 3 different videos on my channel and showed lots of different evidence and breakdowns. The problem with you professional globe cucks is you deny all evidence and you don't accept anything as evidence.
Yeah, I don't know what a globe cuck is, but Jake, I'd like just one bit of evidence. Just claiming something is CGI or fake because, reasons isn't evidence. How about a forensic analysis? An attempt at recreating? Anything that would count as evidence that these are fake. Apart from your feelings, which I've clearly hurt.
It's as if you want a written confession signed in blood from NASA or Jeff Bezos or anyone who ever fakes space travel.
No, I just want evidence that space travel is being faked.
The written, signed confession in blood doesn't exist, and I know that's the only thing that you accept. For instance, if you show a professional globe cuck a picture of the lunar module and you say it looks like a piece of crap, it looks like it's a homeless tweaker shelter, they say, "Whatever are you talking about? It looks like a well-built, well-constructed spaceship."
The lunar lander wasn't designed to look pretty, but to do a job, which it did pretty well. The outer coating of what looked like scrunched up foil is actually designed specifically that way to reflect the most amount of radiation.
And another problem with these professional globe cucks is anytime you bring up the use of CGI or video manipulation, any sort of video editing in any sort of way, they completely deny it in every instance. And they say, just because you think it's CGI doesn't mean it's CGI. Just because you say it's fake doesn't mean it's fake.
Just saying something in a mocking tone doesn't stop it being true.
This is actually personal incredulity. So then their little minions come over to my page and they say, "Hey, where's your evidence?" while they're looking at the evidence that they dismissed. And then they say personal incredulity because this fat ass used the word.
I don't have minions and it's still true. You're not providing a reason why it's not personal incredulity. You're just saying the thing that you're guilty of and kind of ignoring it.
In 2012, NASA got tired of faking weightlessness by using the zero-G plane, better known as the vomit comet. So in 2012, they started soliciting companies that specialize in real-time augmented virtual reality so that they can fake weightlessness and floating objects in the air in real time. Simply the cost of the plane and the safety concerns and the fact that they weren't very good at it. They didn't go to Hollywood, which most of Hollywood's effects are post-processing. That's after the video is made. They needed something they can do in real time and make it look realistic.
A bunch of assumptions that things are fake. Typical flatty behavior. Please, carry on. Can't wait to hear what stupid is said next.
They found a company called Telemetrics. Thank you, Debbie Durant, for bringing this to my attention. After I researched this, lo and behold, I found out our government has a contract with these people. And telemetrics, basically what they do is they help news teams and they bring broadcasts together in real time, and they're able to create sets, cities, anything you want in a virtual reality world and make it look absolutely 100% real. They're also able to bring different people from around the world, put them in the same room and broadcast live, give them desks, whatever they need to make the broadcast. So it's a pretty amazing company.
But what they can't do is fake a full ISS walkthrough that lasts for over 30 minutes, going through multiple doorways, physically interacting with things and other people. This technology can't make people float and remove all trace of any harnesses or trapeze in real time. It's not like a holodeck.
Here we see Johnson Space Center telemetrics provided latest camera robotics technology at NASA's government television at Mission Control. Why do you need to fake virtual reality sets at Mission Control and Johnson Space Center?
It actually amazes me that you people can be this stupid and still somehow get to adulthood. What if you read the thing that's in front of you? They are providing robotic camera technology, like this, which I imagine has many useful applications. It says nothing about providing the green screen VR tech they use for news studios.
I think we know the answer to that when we saw Tim Peake on the gridded blue screen.
This gridded blue screen, the one that would be very difficult to chroma key out, the one they use for physics experiments.
Show you some of the contacts. We're going to see Tim Peake with his contacts in, but these are virtual reality contacts overlaid on the eye so actors can interact with things in 3D space, all in real time.
AR contact tech is becoming a reality. The problem is it's still in its infancy, and even with Mojo Vision's AR contact lens display that packs 14,000 pixels into every square millimeter, the most it can do is show a green text or outline objects and faces. The technology to have VR objects interacting in real time with people and them seeing it with AR contact lenses simply does not exist at the moment.
Yeah, a headset isn't needed by the viewing audience at home who sees a fake floating object on the screen. What we see on the screen at home is not a reality for what's actually happening there. And this is what bothers me most about globetards, is that they are purposely intellectually dishonest with their audience.
Projection's an ugly thing, Jake. We are just pointing out that the tech you claim they must be using simply does not exist. AR contact lenses do not work the way that you need them to.
This sort of technology's definitely not being used. It doesn't even exist. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Augmented virtual reality? What a preposterous notion. There's no such thing as augmented virtual reality.
I hate to agree with a flat earther, but you heard him, guys.
And then he goes on to use nothing but a bunch of special effects and CGI in his own video.
Yes, CGI, that's right. Totally not secret NASA technology.
Oi, who you calling CGI?
Shut up, pal.
So this Fight the Fat Gourd likes to use a bunch of CGI and special effects, but then he pretends that the government or these billionaires would never use that same technology to lie to you.
Yeah, but I'm just some dude in his front room with practically zero budget. If NASA were spending the billions they get on CGI, do you really think they would leave all these mistakes for you morons to find? No, they'd be putting out the most flawless, amazing, undetectable CGI in the world. I'm not CGI, honest.
Well, there you have it, folks. I wish there was more of an argument to break down, but Fight the Fat Ass's only argument is, it's not fake, it's real. It's really real. Captain Kirk went to space. Why don't you believe Jeff Bezos and Captain Kirk? They have no reason to lie. That's his only argument.
Nice to see you put your audio in the outro this time, but let's not strawman me, Jake. My argument is that you have no evidence that it's fake, and any claims made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
He is a admitted Star Trek nerd who admittedly has a love affair with William Shatner. He's also a professional globe cuck. That's his profession, is actual globe cucking. And we're supposed to act like this man is going to take any evidence that I present seriously?
You presented evidence. I must have missed that part.
It's his job to dismiss all evidence. And these are the same guys who want to debate all day over the shape of the Earth. And they commonly want to challenge me to a debate. Meanwhile, why would I want to debate a lying, manipulating, intellectually dishonest shitbag?
Translation, I'm afraid to make a fool of myself on a stream with you. Oh wait, you did do that when you stamped your feet like a baby and demanded to be let on my stream. Then demanded that my friends that were already in the stream leave so that you could have a transphobic, homophobic, racist mental breakdown for everyone to see. There's a link that you guys might want to click in the description, trust me. Then you do this, which I'm going to be using a lot.
You gotta tell it, Jake. You gotta.
Yeah, well done, man.
Oh, mama. Your mama's so ugly.
You gotta get a mixtape out. This guy needs to get a mixtape out fucking ASAP. I'm telling you.
Right, but Jake.
Ooh, self-burn. Those are rare.
And that's where we are, guys. Jake the asshole wants to fight me because he got called a nasty name on the internet. Jake, if you get so triggered at being called something mean on the internet, then maybe going online isn't for you. Let me be clear. I have no interest in fighting a man baby with a handbag for a hat. I think it's hilarious that that's what flat earthers do when they don't have an argument. But Jake, if you really want to fight, then there's a link in the description of a bunch of people willing to take your challenge, and most actually live in the same country as you. You wouldn't back out of your own challenge, would you? I'm going to be paying a bit more attention to Baby Jake as his channel seems to be full of stupid gold, but that is all the stupid that I can take for today. But just before I go, I want to give a massive shout out to all my patrons and channel members. Your support allows me to do what I do and bring you the Flerf busting content that you love. Become a member or patron to get early access to videos and monthly member hangouts with me. To become part of Team FTFE, hit the join button next to the subscribe button to become a channel member, or go to patreon.com/FTFE to become a patron. And thank you. Thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and smash that notification bell so you never miss any videos or live streams from FTFE. And remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.